Hello and welcome to another scene for Suburban Apples. It is still January in New Hampshire. Yes, I know it's February here, but I work on my own fucking timeline. So yes, January. It's cold, it's snowing. Children frolic because, well, what else is there to do when you're young but get into shenanigans? And it's starting to get later in the day, and we're going to focus today on San Alapias. Um, Kids darting in and out of alleyways and along the sidewalks of various apartment buildings. Police slowly starting to make their way to various street corners because, well, since the death of a prominent member of the community in Brigham Fowl, pressure has been placed to keep those ne'er-do-wells from San Alapias on their side of the street. And so this is where we open up our scene, focusing in on the girl in red, her dog who's a little less mangy and certainly a whole less dog-like. Tasha, what are you doing?
I'm assuming this sort of like heist has been planned, or am I just meeting up with stand outside whistling, waiting for Patrick to appear because I don't know how else to contact him?
Serendipitously, since it is a youthful thing to play in the snow and he tends to drift between places, he's there visiting his friends, Jackie and other kid who isn't Joey or the other one.
It's Marcus.
Thank you.
There's pieces, kids. It's Joey and Danny who are the Brigham Fowl kids. So.
Yes.
Yay, Marcia has arrived just in time. We'll see if we can get her connected here. So we are scene is starting. So sorry, I'm getting back into my character here. So yep. So it's probably actually, a game of snowball tag, so to speak. Patrick and Marcus and Jackie are all dodging between alleyways and stuff like that, and ducking behind trash can lids and stuff like that. Patrick's even using a trash can lid as a shield to try and block some of the snowballs, and at one point he actually uses it to slide along while he's rapid firing snowballs at the kids. Amazing balance on the ice. But definitely a complete lack of control as he goes spinning around and round, careening down one way. And even though there is a crash and the sound of other trash cans falling over and stuff, there's nothing but laughter and there's nothing he can't bounce back from.
Yet.
Oh, really?
So Tasha will run up to this spinning small child and more or less tackle him in order to stop him.
he's giggling for a moment, not realizing yet he's he's been grabbed yet. But then
less tackling, more like taking by the shoulders so that he doesn't crash into anything.
Not just facilitating an immediate crash.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So are y'all just out playing on a rink?
It's San Alapias. He's playing in the streets because he's Patrick.
Yeah. Is it like, if he's like skating, I assume that there's like a pond, or it's like, are they at like the park? Where are we?
No. Okay. Carol.
Sorry.
Anyway.
Is he skating? What's he skating?
Oh.
No, he was like sliding on ice, which I'm assuming was like a thin layer over the snow.
I understand now.
Yeah. He was using a trash can lid because he's whimsical.
I grew up in Arizona. I'm like, ice is in a rink or it's in the fridge.
I had to experience all my ice knowledge overseas, so we're good. I understand you.
I see what it is. So, okay, so you guys are just outside somewhere.
Yep.
in the neighborhood. Okay, I gotcha.
San
That makes a lot more
Alpius.
sense.
There can always be a reason you're in San Alpius. I don't know what it is, but you could be here.
What happens in San Alpius does not stay there ever.
Which is the problem and why there's a curfew in effect. And I need a logical reason to push Lily into a building.
And Patrick's laughing, so sorry, getting back into it. Patrick's laughing there, and he realizes he's been grabbed, and he looks up, and it's like, that looks backwards up at Tasha. Oh, hey, Tasha, how you doing?
Hey, kid. I'm fucking fantastic. You know who's not?
And he's sort of looking like, it's that expectant look like, well, who is it? Who's not doing
your buddy Joey. He's not around here, right? He's not playing with y'all.
He shakes his head. No. What's wrong with Joey?
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say that. That's super rude. His parents are trying to fix him by getting this weird procedure done that apparently was done on Nana here, and she'll call Nana over and be like, doesn't she look like less shitty? like significantly?
Nana is no longer the mangy thing. I mean, she's still giant fuck off wolf, and as soon as she's summoned from like whatever crevice she was hiding in, like your friends make an immediate excellent.
The delirium takes over.
This is a big Marilyn. No. Even the cops find an excuse to sort of wander off.
But she looks significantly less shitty.
Yeah, she has a full white coat with like a black stripe of fur about her throat.
Mm. And he's sort of looking at it and goes, "Yeah, she does look better. Why are they going to put that stuff in whatever stuff in Joey? Or what? How is that supposed to fix Joey if it's making him sick?"
Well, it's because they're probably fucking evil. But anyway, the thing is called biomesh. They used it.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
No, it's not. It's awful. Don't get confused by the name, kid. Stay with me. They were using it on like animals with damaged legs to try and make it better, and they were like, "Oh, that worked. Let's try it on humans." But there's like something. Like, I did some research. They covered up some fucked up shit that happened to the dogs that they tried this on. And it obviously made Nana go crazy because Nana had some on her legs. And I had to call a fucking vet to come in and take it off because I was about to perform surgery. So long story short, it's bad, but they aren't releasing the information that it's bad to the public because they want to make money. So Joey's parents think that this will make it so that he can walk again. When in reality, we'll probably just make him real fucking sick. Maybe kill him. I don't know. He's probably in danger, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. And Patrick's got, like, got that serious look on his face that, only children can have, and he's got his fists on his hips, and he's looking up at her. Where's that? Who's doing it?
I don't know exactly, but it's the people at the fucking evil hospital, Ronald Reagan, that one.
Hook.
Sure, if you say so. I know I have some names that are connected with the project. I don't know if those are the people that are doing it. She'll give him the names. They're Jay, Kansa, and Lainey Jones. If that means anything to him.
Well,
but
actually, didn't someone actually give him the connection that Lainey Jones was Wendy?
The burned down building belonged to Lainey Jones, and that was where he finally managed to not forget that she was Wendy without the kiss.
And goes, and he's looking at the name, and he remembers, and he goes, that's the name she was going by. That was Wendy.
Ah, well then you might be fucking right. It might be Hook.
It is Hook.
Then yeah, the real fucking bad news.
If they're going to do this to Joey and he's out here, what are they doing to Emma?
I don't know. Maybe when we heist Joey, we can heist Emma. I don't know. I don't have a plan.
Well, I do, and we're going to get an army. Come with me, he says as he starts immediately.
What?
Seems legit. Seems fine.
What the hell, kid? Where the fuck are we getting an army?
We're going to gather everyone. We're going to go get... first, we're going to get Marcia, because she knows a lot of people.
Okay. I guess an adult might be good at some point.
I don't think Tasha and Marcia met officially.
They have. I remember being
Okay.
in a scene with Marcia.
Well, I know that like it was when they found Vince's body. I think I don't know. Like I think it was like a very like hi, and then she was just like, I'm out. I have a party going on.
she was like, oh hey, hot chick Mandy.
Yes.
Excellent. I'm glad I can facilitate team unity by throwing random teen lesbians in the game.
Yep.
Hey.
Random teen lesbians.
Everybody wins.
Yes.
Especially the teen lesbians.
Yes.
All right. Well, I will, for the sake of brevity, allow you to get to Marcia without incident.
Dude, it's because every time the cops come by, they see Nana and they go, nope.
Wrong turn.
It's a big fuck off dog.
Yeah.
Someone else's problem.
Mm-mm.
We have a code SEP. Someone else's problem.
Sorry, I'm having.
That's all good. All right.
Dumbass. Please stop.
And they get to Marcia's house, and Patrick immediately skips past the front door and starts climbing up the
Kid. No?
It's all right, I'll let you in. He says as he goes.
This isn't how private property works. She knocks on the door.
Opens up the window and rolls on in.
Marcia, you are downstairs.
I think we all know Marcia is day drinking. She is not dressed to be outside. I just need that noted.
I feel like day drinking Marcia would have those sheer robes with the feathers.
That's
around.
exactly what I was picturing her wearing. Exactly. Just a pair of kitten heels with her hair up.
Then there's a quick slide down one of the railings of the thing as he goes bounding past her right to the front door. And opens it on up. Come on in.
That's okay.
What are you? Who? Whatever. Oh, she sees who's coming in and sees that she's met her friend. She's lounging. I would imagine full body down on the surface.
On the chaise lounge.
Yes, exactly. And it says, "Welcome to my home."
Come on in.
I guess it's everybody's now.
Sorry about that, Miss
No.
Marcia.
No, it's good that he has friends. I guess.
I can't fucking control him.
Nobody can.
Oh. Nana, stop that.
It's a vicious Nana attack. And we never saw Marcia ever again.
Nana, we talked about this. No more eating humans. Anyway, Miss Marcia, we need your help.
Oh, I'm getting asked. Well, this is a nice change of pace.
Yeah, we need an army.
She kind of blinks at Patrick when he says we need an army, and then she takes a really, really long drink of basically the rest of a bottle of wine. And it says, I think I'm flattered. Give me 15 minutes to check. And she stands up and kind of goes whew. And then he goes upstairs, and you can hear her, like, and she gets appropriately dressed to be outside. And she comes back down and is like, so why do we need an army? What are we, I don't really oppose killing anyone, but I have to say, if that's on the docket, I'm gonna need to walk you two through some things.
I mean, I hope we don't have to fucking kill anyone, but okay. Big fuck off evil company, called Belleferon? Belleferon, at the Ronald Reagan's Children's Hospital.
Oh, that
Kid is getting a procedure that's probably super unethical, probably not approved by any sort of IRB, which is fucking stupid. But anyway, getting this procedure, we gotta save him before bad shit happens.
All right, I'm up for saving some children. It's been a while since I've done anything interesting.
Yeah, it's Joey. They're going to be putting biomesh, which sounds cool, but apparently isn't.
It's real fucking bad. just got a catchy name to make it sound nice.
She thinks for a second and says, "Give me another 5 minutes," and then she disappears upstairs, and you can hear more like, like rummaging around and clattering. And when she comes back down, she's got a like winter coat on over the top of like whatever sweater she had for a second, and she just says, "Now I'm ready." And you can see as she's coming down, she has a like what is it called? Not a holster.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that, a sheath. She
Yeah.
has like a thigh sheath, and she is finishing, like the coat covers it. It's a longer coat than like the winter coat that she has by the door. And she's sliding a very, very bright knife into it, and there are a couple of smaller spaces on it also.
Nice.
Marcia is now strapped.
Awesome.
Excellent.
I just wanted to put that in canon for later.
Red knife ahoy!
Yes.
Well, we got to get a big army. If we're going to be facing off against Hook to save Emma and to keep them from doing whatever they're going to do to Joey, it's got to be huge.
Wait, we're getting Emma out too? Okay, hold on just a second, because I'm on board with this plan, but everybody's going to be on high alert because of the unfortunate business with Vin, sorry. And we're going to need somewhere to put these children, but at least one of them, after they've been effectively kidnapped. And my house is not a great place for that. We're going to need somewhere that people won't arrest me for kidnapping. You see what I mean?
Well, Jamie and Killer Mike have a cool place.
They do. You know what? I would love to foist some children they're not expecting off on them.
Well, I
Turns
think
out
they
they're
need
fair
part of the army too. We need a big one.
I mean, I can see if the Red Cap gang wants to do anything. Like I have Jamie's number.
Oh, so do I.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't want to fucking assume or anything in case that was racist.
No, it's all good. I know the Red Cap gang, and Ruby smiles really big, and her teeth are just like serrated.
Right.
I love it. It's Patrick's natural leader leading them all to bad decisions.
It's refreshingly sweet of you not to assume, actually. Like Marcia is legit like she's like, that's so nice that you think I'm like a normal person.
And I mean I've been keeping Nana in my house and no one's really noticed yet. Except for, the people I actually fucking invited into the house, apartment.
You named your weird monster dog Nana?
Yeah, that's her name.
Okay.
By the way, once again, Nana, if she followed you, and I
Yeah,
assume
of course.
yes, and said yes, big wolf, yeah. Horse-ish wolf, pony-ish wolf, I guess. I don't know. Large pony, small horse.
Yeah.
Does not
Size
look
wolf.
normal.
She looks at Nana for a second and goes, It's a good thing I have an XL Escalade.
Just a sort of.
Yeah, I mean, we can call Killa Mike and Jamie and see if they'll help. I suppose we probably that feels responsible, involving other adults. That's like a thing that, you know, caretakers do, right?
Why are you asking fucking us?
Patrick just shrugs. I just want an army.
I'm well aware of your proclivity toward grandiosity, dear.
Also, I don't know if you've realized, but we don't really have a plan.
No, usually not, it seems. But I think that's working out in our favor a little bit because it makes us unpredictable, which is good.
Okay.
And I've gotten very good at thinking on my feet. It's been a while since I had to do it quite so frequently, but there's very few things that a well-placed blade can't handle.
Oh man, what if we not only get the kids out? What if we can get all the documents on the biomesh, the stuff that shows it's bad?
That would be great. We could get intel. Ideally, okay. So first priority should be Joey. Second priority can be intel, because that'd be real fucking great too.
Marcia's kind of looking at Patrick with her eyes a little bit narrowed, and she says, "Did you just volunteer to read?"
No.
I was going to ask if you were feeling all right. I feel better now.
Oh, I'm not reading anything. Other people like to read.
That is true. So Joey, Emma, are we getting Emma?
If we can find her, I don't fucking know where she is.
We can try.
Again, more intel.
Let's do it
on that side.
Because I know Lily only has so much time, I think this is more going to be a gather the forces and get more information scene rather than us actually doing anything. So,
remind me. Yeah, let's. So I call Phil, Mike, and LP. Hey guys, come over. Party time. Yeah, I am gonna lie to get them to come over and imply heavily that they owe me for putting up with all of this bullshit with this kid that they asked me to look after for like a day, who I think I now. I think we're common law parent and child.
Aw. As I don't know. Okay, you got 10 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, I have someone coming to pick me up, so like I will let you guys know when like I hear the doorbell.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, great. As soon as that happens, I'll give the narrative of whatever.
Tasha can just be on guard doing the lookout thing with Nana.
We get advantage on all rolls for the rest of the season.
Aw. As everybody's just staying the fuck away from this house. Seems like a bad idea. Why? I'm just not delivering the mail today is all I'm saying. Like roughly like 20 minutes later, like Killa Mike and Jamie arrive and like there's like a kind of timid knock on the door because good lord, and then like after the knock somebody rings the doorbell.
Marcia walks over to the door at the knock, but she waits until they ring the doorbell. And then she throws the door open breezily and says, "Welcome to my home. Please come in." And, you know, does the whole hostess thing and brings them into the living room. And says to Patrick, "Behold, your army."
Awesome! It's growing even bigger. We're gonna need more.
Whoa. What?
Oh,
what's up?
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Go ahead.
What's up? We're staging a rescue mission, and you're like the only fucking adults I know other than her.
You are in a sad situation, little kid.
That was incredibly rude.
Tell them about the biomesh.
Oh yeah, super evil stuff at the Ronald Reagan Children's Hospital. This kid's gonna get some weird fucking thing called biomesh on his legs. It's probably gonna make him go crazy. Parents think it's gonna help him walk again.
They don't seem surprised at all hearing this, and yeah, we know that place is it's a fucking travesty. We lost a couple of guys in there not too long ago.
Well, good news. Maybe this time you can find them.
Yeah, do you have any information on it? Do you have like maps or some shit?
Little spidery girl, she saw something. That's how we knew that we probably won't be finding much of them. Mike kind of gives a sort of dubious look to Marcia, like, no.
Oh, no, I didn't think they were alive.
Yeah. He kind of looks around. She's usually around Patrick in this one. And points at Marcia.
Did she give us any information?
I think Patrick was in the room when she had that flashback scene, but I don't think it was passed along.
Yeah,
Okay.
no. I think it was the Bard's tongue thing was basically it's like there's no point, they're dead.
Yeah.
But he's not aware that she has any like future sight stuff or anything like that.
Well, regardless of who may or may not be here who has information, people who aren't here having information is not incredibly helpful. Since you have gifted me with this child, and she puts it back, she says, I am gifting you with the opportunity to help us kidnap more children. Because this thing is apparently going, and I didn't sign up to be on board, but now I am. So welcome to the team. Can I get you something to drink?
I suppose you could get me a serving of your kid here dropped off a kid at our doorstep first. A kid that was a ward of the state, no less.
He's not mine. We're not actually related.
That's right. I'm no one's kid.
I was asked to watch him by, I'm pretty sure you guys. Was that wrong? I thought it was
No. We asked you to watch him.
Yeah.
After. Because, well, we know so much about you, Marcia. From so many pleasant dealings in the past.
Yes, I recall them fondly. I still have that jar of teeth.
Play the fucking blame game later. Like, do you guys not want to help save a child's life? Is that not something y'all are down with?
No, we are definitely down with saving children.
Y'all don't have to worry about them. They can hide out at my place. I've got an extra bedroom. I hid Agnes under my bed for fucking week or a month. I don't remember, for a fucking long time. No one noticed her. So
Marcia looks at Tasha and just says, "I have an abundance of guest bedrooms. I believe you now know how to get through the window. Yes."
Sure.
In the future, just at this point, I'm basically a halfway house, so just, I don't know, throw them in the yard or something.
All right, cool. And I just got a text that that my ride is here. So with that, Tasha will go and stand guard.
Excellent.
And if you need Nana, if you need Nana for any reason, Nana will gladly be of assistance since Nana's already NPC'd.
Or will she?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Everyone.
At least y'all will. I'll see you guys later.
Take care. Thanks for joining.
So, what have you found out? Have you gotten any more information about the layout of the place or who we're looking for? Who would be helpful?
I know one of who we're looking for. I'm not sure who the other one is. We're looking. Do you remember Vin, my neighbor? Did you ever meet him? He was very into the court.
Can't say we had the pleasure of actually making his acquaintance.
That's nice. It's good.
I can say that if he's the fellow that was shuffled loose the mortal coil on this street, then his untimely demise has certainly affected us over in San Elapias.
That would be him. Here's the thing. He has a daughter. Lovely girl up until, and I'm going to need you to really strap yourselves in for this and stay committed. I think she might have been possessed by an Arcadian sheep, but that doesn't mean that she deserves to be locked up in some, terrible hellhole where I doubt that they're trying to get her unbroken brain back and just really leaning into breaking it more, which I don't think is what she needs.
They just sort of look at each other. So, how much do you have planned? I mean, is it just let's storm the gates? Because I can assure you that doesn't work. And sneaking in has its own problems.
I mean, I was thinking they're a place that parents walk into to take appointments about problem children, and here am I, a parent with, you can be a problem child, right? She looks at Patrick.
Yeah! Oh, he stops for a moment. But if Hook sees me, then the ruse would be up.
Oh, shit! I asked these guys last in a recent scene about one of the doctors there, and I can't remember his name.
Yeah, there was Pape, Contra, and what's her face? Dr. Lainey Jones were the names, and
it's the one that the guy doctor, right? Yeah.
And they are you asking them about the pictures that you were asking for?
Oh well, I not necessarily, but I'm gonna say I'm pretty sure that that's the guy that we need to avoid seeing him at all costs.
There were 2 males listed. Which guy?
I can't remember what.
Dr. Kanja and Michael, Dr. J. Kanja and Michael Pape.
And Mike what? I'm sorry.
Michael Pape.
I think it was Michael Pape that I was thinking of, but realistically, both. I thought one of them didn't have a picture, and I think that was the one that I was like,
neither of them had a picture.
Yeah, neither of them had a picture, and neither did Lainey Jones.
But Lainey Jones, we knew was windy, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And also dead.
Yeah.
Super dead.
Yeah. So those 2, it's probably safest to avoid. But I mean, he doesn't have to come in with me. You lot could sneak around the back while I cause a distraction up front. If there is anything that I'm good at, it is getting managers to waste their time with me. Something of a hobby of mine.
Marcy,
we'll probably have to avoid the air vents because I already did that once.
There's no way I'm fitting in an air vent.
Jamie just sort of points to Patrick. Isn't this one usually surrounded by spare kids?
Yes. I don't know how or why they come.
Couldn't one of them serve as a decoy that hasn't been seen before?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They're just not here right now. I'm working with what I've got in front of me. I don't know how to get in touch with them.
I'm just trying to build up an army because we got to do something about this. Joey's going to go in, I don't know when, and Emma's been there for ages now, and who knows? And Joey's been on the outside for this long, and they're already trying to do something to him. Who knows what they're doing to her when she's in there?
So, could you call one of your friends and have them help us? Maybe.
Jamie and Killer Mike look at each other. Us?
No, I'm talking to Patrick. No, she's like.
I mean, maybe, he says. I mean, I don't have a phone. I can't call them. I don't know their numbers.
How do you usually get in touch with them? How do they find you?
I usually just find them. If it's a school day, it's very easy to find them.
Is it a school day?
It's an evening.
Well, there's a curfew, so there's a good chance they'll be at home. Do you know where any of them live? Aside from the one who's going to be, biomeshed?
He says. And he nods.
Could you take us there? Or could you go there and get one of them and bring them back here?
And he sort of thinks about it. He's like, yeah, I could do that. Give me a minute. And he's going to go get Danny since he's the closest.
So, Danny, being a 13-year-old boy, seems a little confused when Patrick arbitrarily shows up in the evening without any of the other them in tow.
Hi, baby. Welcome back.
Hey, Danny.
Patrick.
I got.
What's up?
He goes like serious stuff. And he's like looks around. Everyone's asleep, right? Well, or it's like no one's going to overhear us, right?
I mean, we're on the second floor of my house.
Awesome. And he sort of leans in. Have you seen Joey recently? It's been a while since I can't remember the last time we actually hung out with him.
Well, he's been going over to the doctor's a lot lately. He's getting ready for some sort of surgery, I think.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. It's not good. It's bad stuff they're going to be putting in him.
I think he said he's going to be able to walk after it, though.
And Patrick sort of blinks for a moment because, that never quite connected until just now. He's going to be able to walk?
Yeah, man.
I didn't think this through.
And he sort of frowns for a moment because, it's a sort of confusion there. It's just like, but that place steals your magic.
What magic?
I forgot his friends are like normal kids. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, like how we managed to steal all the stuff for the soda and Patrick's like looking at him because there's this how could you not know sort of thing going there, and it's well, I don't know. They say he's going to change. It's really going to mess up his brain.
I mean, who says?
Some people, some friends of mine. He says with a shrug. They've been looking into the Children's Wellness Center. Some bad stuff's going on there.
He puts down his game controller for a moment. Have you talked to Joey about it?
He shakes his head. I haven't yet. I only just found out about it tonight.
And just sort of seems to ponder it for a moment. I don't know, Patrick. I mean, you're kind of new to town, but Joey was a different kid after the accident, He used to be able to run and play with your other friends and stuff just fine. And honestly, I mean, I didn't hang out with him much, but that kid seemed real sad after he lost the ability to walk. It wasn't until you came around that he even started hanging out with other kids again.
I didn't even know he was in an accident. I always thought he was always like that.
Nah, I only know kind of the stuff I'd hear my mom whisper because everybody in this freaking town just gossips like crazy. But Joey's mom didn't buckle him up before. I think there was like a house party on the other side of town, and he had fallen asleep, and so she just sort of laid him in the back seat. And well, oh, scary.
Jesus.
Nana, calm down. Anyways, while they were coming home, somebody T-bowed them when they ran a stop sign. I think the other car was drunk. I don't know. They ran that guy out of town. But yeah, Joey hasn't been able to walk since then.
Patrick's got that like sort of serious look on the face, the serious, that kind of thing. This is like serious conversation. He was like, why didn't he ever tell me?
I don't know. Like I said, he was really sad until you came around. Maybe he didn't want to remember being so sad.
Well, he doesn't have to be. He doesn't walk, but he still can have fun. We always had fun with him. Had games. He was always smarter than all of us. Some of the best ideas of what we were doing was because of him.
He just gives a shrug. Being able to walk is important. You get to choose where you go. Could you imagine if you couldn't walk?
And Patrick sort of thinks is like, I could. It never stopped us from flying.
Because he's about 13, and this is about the age at which myths sort of clear these experiences. He just kind of gives you a look. Like, what are you talking about?
Flying. And Patrick's like looking, why don't you remember?
He gives it another shrug. We always have fun, but we're just playing make-believe.
And it's that moment where there's like it's almost like a sort of shock for a moment where Patrick's looking at him. Me? What? Oh. And he is just sort of wise. He thinks back with Emma before she became what she became. But you don't remember. How did we escape with all the sodas and the Mentos?
We went out the back door.
There wasn't a door. We went right through the wall where the produce was.
Can't go through walls, Patrick.
But we can. We did. We've done it many times.
He just kind of gives a look. We went through the back door because there was no guard there.
And Patrick's like, there's this sort of like it's a slow dawn realization for a moment. What about when I launched the toboggan from one side of the hill to the other at the bottom?
You were pushed like halfway up the hill before it went over the other side. I guess you just hit a slick patch or something. I mean, it was cool.
But no one was pushing me.
Could have sworn someone was. Yeah, wasn't some adult pushing you or something?
No one was pushing me.
All right, man. Whatever you say.
Sorry, I'm gonna go.
I'm not. I hope it didn't upset you.
Patrick's just sort of like he is upset. It's just I just gotta go. And he slides down the drain pipe and makes his way back to Marcia's. Probably been a lot longer than they were expecting. Those tears are starting to freeze to his cheeks.
Just imagine Killa Mike and Jamie like awkward with like teacups. Like, why?
She's made them like Irish coffees or something. You know what I mean? Like it's like she's like, have some tea. Also, here's bourbon.
Here's your coffee with your Irish creamer.
I was like I was like, you're not in this scene. You can't respond to any of this because I have some opinions about how that kid is wrong about some things, but I was not there to make the point. Now I'm angry. I just want to let you all know.
It's fine. You'll get the Patrick side of the story here soon enough, so we'll see.
That is what the Knicks do. That is why nobody was like, fucking fairies are real when he launched Marcia 3 stories high.
Not about that. I have some issue with the way this kid was talking about his friend's accident and the things that happened afterward. Like, but that is a meta thing because I have family that's happened to, and so I have some thoughts on like those kinds of situations. He's a 13-year-old boy. Like, I'm not. It was a teachable moment for him, but he's not here. So
I was winging it.
No, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful scene. That's why I was like, I wish I was in this scene right now.
All right. So
okay. So just 3 adults just blink.
There's Patrick, and there's his cheeks are like really flushed, and it's very clear like there's been tears, and he's been rubbing his eyes along the way. It's very blurry. It's rubbed raw.
What happened? Are you here? They're there? She like walks over and kind of awkwardly pats him, and she grabs like a linen napkin. He used like a clean piece of cloth from somewhere and kind of dabs ineffectively at his face.
Danny's growing up.
Well, unfortunately, it does happen from time to time.
He doesn't even remember how we did the things we did. He doesn't remember going through the walls. He doesn't remember me launching the toboggan over the hill. Well, he remembers it, but it's wrong. He doesn't remember it right.
That happens a lot with regular people.
Why are they forgetting?
Hmm?
I taught them to fly. How could they forget?
Sometimes regular people who don't have sharp teeth or pointy ears or magic find it easier to pretend like magic isn't real than to have to know for all their lives that they don't have it.
They do. They all do. Everyone does. It's right there. It's always been there. Even if it's as simple as making Mentos and Coke bottles go up in foam, it's magic's there.
There are voices like yours out there. And they're strong voices. And I hope that Danny will find someone with a voice like that or start to hear yours more clearly again. But until he does, there are a lot of other voices too, and sometimes it's hard to keep yours loud when the rest of them are so much louder. I had a hard time with that. I still have a hard time with it. But all you can do is be ready to tell him again if and when he asks. I'm sorry, I wish I had an easy answer for you.
Shakes his head. Is that what's going to happen to Jackie? To Marcus? I knew that place was going to steal Joey's magic. But does just growing up does that? Takes it away from you?
Not to everyone. All you can do is keep letting your magic shine clearly and hope that they continue to see it. But that is something that they have to do for themselves. You can't do it for them.
Told me Joey used to be able to walk.
How long has Marcia lived in Briggenfowl?
She'd be aware of the gossip around the accident.
Yeah. Yes. So I hear.
I never knew that. I always thought he was always like that.
An unfortunate thing happened, and sometimes that's how people are to each other. Not on purpose, but they don't care enough or in the right ways, and it causes a lot of pain.
He said Joey's... Danny said that this biomesh, this thing that they're doing, it's supposed to help him walk again.
It might. It very well could, but it's also a company who, as people providing medical care, their responsibility is to make sure that the people they're providing care to know everything about what could happen, and they're not doing that. And they are risking things that people may not be willing to risk on their behalf without letting them know, and that is wrong. If Joey knew everything about it, and his parents knew everything about it, and they still wanted to do it, I would advise you to step back and let them. But they don't. And in this case, they can't, so we at least owe it to them to do a little research and see how dangerous it really is.
What if I could make Joey walk again?
Oh, there are a lot of ethical questions tied up in that.
No.
I think it would depend on how.
I mean, I just could. I could do that. I mean, I healed my head. I healed Emma's head once, and he sort of frowns. Can't do that, though.
Can't do what?
If I did that, that'd be just taking away the things that made him special.
Giving something back to someone does not make them forget that they ever lost it. And that is part of what has made Joey who he is. So unless you had to erase his memory of struggling and learning what he learned and finding the strength he found in the ways that he found it, you wouldn't be doing him a disservice by returning something. But you're not obligated to make that decision for him either. You can talk to him about it. In fact, I think you should. The only person who's going to be able to tell you how he feels about these things is Joey, because he's the one who's feeling them.
Rubs his eyes. He sort of nods. I'll do that later, though. It's
a little late.
No, it's just really sad right now.
Also that. Do you want a hug or something?
He shakes his head. No, I'm just gonna get some milk. He says as he just goes off into your kitchen.
Milk carton has your face on it.
As he's like going to do that, Marcia looks at Jamie and Killer Mike, and she just mouths,
They look very uncomfortable having witnessed this very tender moment between the two of you.
She kind of is like,
look, if we're still gonna do this thing, you should probably ask that girl what she saw when she saw what she saw.
No. I should? That's shocking.
All right. Well, Miss Smartass, since you were so interested in turning our humble abode into a daycare for kidnapped children.
You did it to me first.
Hey, yours has nowhere to go.
Neither do these. At least one of them, for sure. Because she murdered her father figure, probably.
Oh.
That was Huck.
just peachy.
I stand corrected.
They sort of like stand up, still kind of awkward, like putting down these like tiny coffee cups. So we can go then.
For the moment, but I would expect to hear from you soon. Thank you for coming over. It is nice to have other adults around, I have to say.
Yeah, anytime. Social hour and all that. I'm sure we'll be waiting for our invitation to the book club.
Marcia kind of thinks for a second, and then she just like grins, but like in a way that says that she would love to invite them to.
Absolutely, they respond in a look of like, "Don't invite us to the book club."
Yeah, it is all tinged with fondness, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, they make their exit, and anyways, so yes, you have been advised to perhaps get in contact with the girl who saw what she saw when she saw what she saw, which would be Dee.
Yes.
Yes.
While Patrick is drowning his sorrows in good old vitamin D, Marcia
stashed on.
Marcia is gonna text another D, because I'm pretty sure D gave her number.
Yeah, they did.
Sweet. That's what I thought. It has been a minute.
Hey, I'm the second most grown-up person in this game.
I know. I'm so pleased that you're here. It has been very interesting, only interacting with small.
Well, technically, I'm 18. Remember?
Yeah. More adults, always more adults. Bring more adults into this Peter Pan game.
Sure.
He texted me.
Feel free to get in touch with the Spider God, because that's who you're texting.
Hell yes. Pancake, are you serious? Hold on. My dog has her head in a bag. I'll be right back.
And we pause briefly for this brief interlude.
Dun, dun, dun.
This pancake is rescued from a bag. Don't worry, folks.
Pancake is in good hands.
Sorry.
All good.
Yeah, she texts D and is like, hey, I hope this isn't too late. I have some questions about the Ronald Reagan Children's Wellness Center that I think you might be able to answer.
What time is it even?
It's roughly like 8:30 p.m.
Oh, that's not late.
I thought it was later than that. Never mind. But yeah, she a text.
She probably has. She's probably in that website, like reading more stories about. I can't even remember the name of the spider god now.
Anansi.
Anansi. There you go. To see if she recognizes anything, you know, because who would not be researching the crap out of this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Good.
No, I was gonna say, and you know, her phone goes off. And she looks at it, and she kind of texts back. It is so late that I have no idea how I'm possibly texting you. I am ridiculously tired.
Marcia just responds back with the emoji that's like winking and blowing a kiss.
She's like, she'll just be like, what you need?
She's had a lot of wine tonight. Like a lot. And then some bourbon, I think, on top of that. She's going to ask for well, I guess she would probably just say, Jamie and Mike are Jamie and Mike are red caps, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. She knows them.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that they were both red caps. So she sends a text that says some mutual red cap friends mentioned you might have some information on the layout of the center or how we could get into or out of it. ?
Okay, yeah. Isn't Dee's mom in the book club?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. She's just gonna text back. Can you come over? I have more information on my computer.
Marcia will send back 3 of those.
Yeah, and then she'll go downstairs and putter, because it's only like 2 minutes to walk from her house to here. Mm-hmm. So she's gonna kind of go in the kitchen and look like she's looking for a snack. Nice. So she can be there to let you in, but she's not gonna hide you because her mom knows you.
Yeah.
Are you leaving Patrick behind, or is he?
I will ask if he wants to come with me to Dee's house.
Sure.
Great.
I mean, she tells all sorts of stories. Well, one of them was good. Lots of stories about me, apparently. One of them was good. One of them was a bad story. It wasn't even that long. It was just a sentence. Hook killed me one time, I guess, but I don't remember that.
On that devastating note, she says, and shuffles him out the door. We'll unpack that later. And they swing over and bing bong, ring the doorbell.
Yeah. I don't know where her parents are at this point. We're just hoping not in their bedroom. And
God. They do have a very active sex life.
Very.
They are ridiculous. But yeah, she'll head for the front door as long as nobody beats her to it.
Mm-hmm. No, go ahead.
Yeah, and she's carrying like cookies. And like, for fun, it's milk. Let's do milk theme everywhere. Cookies and milk. And she she opens the door.
Marcia says, "This is quaint," when she sees the milk cookie.
Oh, nice! He says, Patrick, as he immediately grabs for a cookie.
She actually holds it a little bit higher just because she can.
Reaching up on his tiptoes, trying to get one.
She just grins at him and then gives him one.
Okay.
Come upstairs.
As you close the door behind them, the basket beneath the mail slot sort of jostles and a piece of paper falls to the ground.
Yeah, that's weird. She'll kind of be like, come in. And because she was the one who would have seen it probably, I think. So she'll kind of peek around the door and see what it was.
Well, it fell out of the basket because it was just kind of shoved in there, not by a male person. But it's a flyer for the circus that's coming to town.
That is sexist.
What?
Not a male person.
Oh, yeah, so she just she kind of looks at it. Yeah, she just kind of shoves it in a pocket and walks back. Like, we'll close the door because cold, and be like, let's go upstairs.
So you pass by Marvin Gaye.
No.
Well, it's
just on loop now. It never stops.
No, they're out to dinner. It's date night. Dee's 18. She can handle herself.
She could do it at 16 or 17. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she heads up. She heads up there and walks into a room. And I don't know if either of you guys pays attention to the computer because she didn't actually turn off that website that she was on. But it probably has some kind of like picture. There's probably some sort of illustration of some sort of spider thing on there.
Yeah.
Would that be perception and alertness?
Yeah, let's see.
Find out.
Let's find out and see if
I keep forgetting to open the Discord when we start these scenes.
Woo!
And now it's gonna take 10 years because of fucking updates.
Diff 6.
Yeah. Mimi, are you okay? You sounded like you were gonna puke there for a second.
It'll never be okay. It's never gonna be okay again. Wow, Patrick noses the shit out of it.
Spiders.
Spiders.
And references to Aunt Nancy.
Yep.
Nope.
But you don't botch. You just don't.
Patrick sees it, natural curiosity. Oh. And he's looking at it, even though he's not necessarily a reader, he's seeing it's like, stories tell and stuff like that. Was this where all the stories about me are?
Absolutely not. Why would they ever be there?
Oh. Maybe those, they might be somewhere else, but, if there's stories about me, there's got to be stories about Hook.
I'll research it. I haven't looked specifically for Hook yet, but most stories with him seem to have you too.
Well, we got to look into them soon because we got to build an army to go save Joey and Emma.
Leaping right into the plot.
When Patrick immediately believes Dee when she's like, no, none of them are on here, Marcia just kind of like affectionately rolls her eyes. Bother to correct it. She's like, whatever.
That's what you get for asking me a question. He doesn't get it. But yeah, she'll just kind of actually she'll close out of it because she'll just hit the little X because she doesn't necessarily want to leave that up if there's anybody else more than her there. And she'll be like, because didn't she find schematics of things and that sort of thing? I can't remember what she found.
You found like a general layout and the doctor's pages and stuff like that, I think. But I think you were also one of the ones who realized that like which doctors didn't have photographs, which were Dr. J. Kanja, Michael Pape, and Lainey Jones.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So she'll basically, like, I'm sure she would, whatever she did, she took notes on it, you know, and saved the links and stuff. So she'll start pulling up the information that she does have. You know, like, and just kind of be like, come here, you know, then she just sits down and starts, you know, typing away and mousing away. I mean, it's obvious she's quite used to this whole computer thing, as if you could not tell that already.
Shocking.
Shocking.
Marcia kind of looks around a little bit because I don't know if she's ever been up here, and then she looks like at the bed like she's thinking about sitting down for a second, but she doesn't want to like sit on somebody else's bed without expressly being invited to do so. So she just kind of
okay. She's a teenage girl. I'm going to say there's a beanbag chair nearby. You could probably grab that.
She sits on it, and then she like sinks back into it and makes kind of like a face.
Oh, my sciatica.
But she stays.
I mean, when I was a teenage girl, I totally always wanted a beanbag chair.
I still do as a grown-ass woman.
I had a beanbag chair. I do not want another.
I had one, and it started leaking, so I finally had to get rid of it. Aww. But yes, anyways, it's a thing with girls, at least. We love beanbag chairs, most of us.
True.
So yeah, and she'll kind of like try to tilt the screen down so she can show you, and she'll just kind of start like, okay, so I have doctor's pictures, I have this basic layout, well, there are some doctors that don't have pictures, one of whom is actually we know about Lainey, right, being dead. Yeah, one of is gone. I actually have information to get into her phone as well, but I'm guessing that's probably way long disconnected by now.
Well, I have Lainey was Wendy.
I suspect one of the other two is Hook, but I'm not sure which, and I don't know how to narrow it down. I am leaning toward Michael Pape just because with a name like that, come on.
Who trusts anyone named Michael?
Yeah.
It was Michael Pape, and what was the other name?
Dr. J. Kanja. Kanca.
Every time you say that, I'm like, I'm going to remember this because it sounds like the word ganja, and I fucking never remember.
I'm sure I am absolutely butchering the name, but yes.
Well, I personally think it'd be the best plan ever to assume that that is exactly who that is. But really the worry, I think, would be, you know, if, like, I mean, if neither of them has pictures, maybe they both have a role in this. And if they're working together, then maybe someone else is like, I don't know, Smee or something. Or a lost boy.
You want me to roll for Smee? Remembrance for Smee?
Or a lost boy. Yeah, she's like, or a lost boy or something. Yeah.
You can roll for Smee.
Okay. What diff do you want to set that for Smee?
I don't know, 7, I guess.
7?
Roll is 7, yeah.
Roll for Smee sounds like just a really tawdry something.
Nope.
It sounds like smegma.
It does a little bit. It does.
No. Nope. So Patrick's not remembering Smee. So.
Remember when this used to be a nice game about birds having sex with their wives?
That was never a nice version of this game.
Let's get back to that. No.
You know, the only reason I know what that is because of what was it?
Health class?
No. That game, Cards Against Humanity. That's the only reason I know what it is. We had to look it up because we had no idea what it was.
I don't remember where I first heard it, but I know I heard about it in high school, and I was like, fucking
gross.
Glad I'm gay.
Ah,
No, it's all good. The human body is an amazing and beautiful thing, and it's also terrifying and disgusting at the same time. So, moving on.
This moment of odd body shaming brought to you by the letter
Now I feel bad. I'm like, fuck, man.
No, it's
Sorry, y'all.
no.
No shame. Take care of yourselves.
Use protection.
Some gentle soap and warm water, you're good.
Basically,
All right.
yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, that was an odd derailment. Where were we?
He was trying to remember something about Smee.
Yeah. Yep. Nothing was remembered. 0 successes on that one. So.
Can I try to do a search for these names, just like a random Google search, and see if I can maybe find a Facebook page or something?
Sure. Because it's Google, and I'm not going to be like, roll to Google. Everyone Googles. My dead grandma can Google. Eventually you do locate like a Michael Pape on like a LinkedIn account with like works at the Ronald Reagan Children's Wellness Center in Brigham Fowl, New Hampshire. And there's a picture of him.
Okay. Then yeah, get that up to show them.
Okay. He's sort of an aging man. Looks like the years have been kind of hard to him. Thinning hair on top. Looks like he probably hits the bottle in his off time quite a bit.
Rum? Does he like rum?
It does not say if he likes rum. It simply, he looks like he's seen the worst side of a bottle once or 7 times a week.
That's definitely Hook.
No, that's not Hook.
Maybe he's a pirate? Just another pirate? Maybe he's Smee. Maybe he's just an alcoholic. I'm not here to judge.
I personally feel that if I worked at a place like that, you would not get me off the alcohol.
That's fair. Can we find this other gentleman?
Yeah, she'll try a little harder on this one, you know, like apparently this Michael Pape wasn't too hard to find.
Mm-hmm. For Dr. Conca, let's see, roll me perception technology, I suppose.
Okay. Trying to get to the right thing. There we go. Suburban apples. It's just being all kinds of slow. There we go. So that's Laura got 2.
2. Everything you find about Dr. Concha, sorry, this fucking C throws me off in my head, is connected to the Ronald Reagan's Children's Wellness Center or Bellafron Industries and like the research on biomesh.
So there's no pictures. It's just stuff about his work.
Roll me. Let's go with an intelligence technology, and give me another roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if my specialty is apply on this one.
What was the specialty?
I'm trying to find it again.
I think analytical's one.
Yep, analytical.
Yes, it will. So we'll go ahead. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. Okay. Here's what is starting to dawn on you as you search and search and search. There is no article older than 5 years old. There is no reference to a Dr. J. Hanja that is older than 5 years old. He appeared out of fucking nowhere 5 years ago.
This is an assumed name, I think. I think he took on this identity.
That's not great. But everybody comes from somewhere. And I know a lot of people who are very good at finding people.
Could his name be a what's it called when you scramble the letters together?
An anagram.
That's it.
She'll grab a piece of paper and write all the letters down and set it down in front of them.
Kanca.
Hmm?
Kanca.
Yeah.
I mean, but his first name too, she would probably put on there. So
All that's there is J.
Not any of them. None of them actually have another name.
Hold on.
Nope.
Hold on just a second.
That's actually kind of impressive.
Kanca?
Kanca.
And J.
Kanca.
Hmm. I mean, I still think that.
Let's see.
I wonder. I mean, he's clearly publishing and being written about. I wonder if a local reporter looking to do a puff piece on a renowned wellness institution in the Brigham Fowl area and all of the wonderful work that it's doing for the community and the children in it were to call and say that they wanted to do, I don't know, some kind of profile on a Dr. J. Kanca.
Kanca.
I think you might be an advantage with doing this one compared to me, because if they ask me a question, then I have an issue.
Yes. That would be fine. I'm just wondering if they would give more information. I mean, I could try to sit down with him. Maybe I could do it for the neighborhood newsletter.
Christy, could you check your PMs, please?
Yes. Okay, well, it does seem like it would be from, I mean, I had thought that anyway, that it looks like it might come from a foreign language. So yeah, why not just type that word in and see if anything pops up? Because a lot of times or just type in that word, the last name, and then meaning, and see what pops up that way.
Okay.
I found it. But Patrick's not the one looking, so I'll let you guys do it.
Kance.
CA.
CA.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kanca.
Oh. Marcia types it on her smartphone and just says, "Son of a bitch."
What?
It's Captain Hook. She does this.
I mean, I'm trying. Is it Tamil? What the heck? There's so many languages that pop up this way.
I just Googled it, and Hook is what came up.
Because that's literally what I'm doing right now, and I'm finding very large, a ton of responses of what it could be.
If you type in translate Kanca.
I just typed in Kanca, and it took me immediately to the Wikipedia article for Hook.
It's Slavic.
Turkish.
Oh.
Says Google Translate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, we don't know what they look like.
Can you guess which player I was?
That would have been interesting.
Yeah, just as a word, I would like it noted that because of the which player was supposed to eventually put this together.
Yeah. It's all good.
It's okay. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Part of me thinks it's because I absolutely butchered it every time I said it.
Yeah, so she's gonna be like, well, we totally know what he looks like, and we don't have any idea what anybody else looks like. So If nothing else, we can narrow it down.
We can, and I maintain. I really think sending somebody in. I mean, I am the most promising candidate because I'm the oldest, but
Well, unless you want me to do it for the school newspaper, I feel that that's probably not something that they're likely to believe, though.
no, I was thinking I could make an appointment for a child in my life. You know,
She gives you a look. Like
I don't
if
have to
you
bring a real child, but
you seem to have a nephew.
yeah, he doesn't have to go with me.
Exactly.
We can talk about him, about how I'm worried about his strange behavior. I don't know. All I need is to see the man, right? It's like one of those Guess Who games. I've got pictures of almost everyone else. He should be fairly easy to spot.
Well, we don't know. We don't know what he is, though. Because he's not like us. When I tried to remember last time, I blacked out and Ted got hurt.
Well, I don't need to remember him, though. And I can always leave.
But I don't know why I don't remember everything about him.
Maybe it's for the best.
It doesn't seem like it was doing you any favors to try and remember before, so I wouldn't worry about it too much right now. At the risk of hurting yourself or somebody else, like Ted.
What we need to figure out is a little bit more information about him, like maybe a name, if we could find out an address. Then we could possibly get more information.
When when that laptop was given to you, did you take any of the information off of it besides Lainey's memoir?
Well, she did. I don't think she ever took it.
Well, like she saved a copy, I thought, or something.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to remember. That was a long time ago. I mean, she would have taken anything she thought might be useful because she's suspected the Ronald Reagan thing for a long time before, before we even knew it was all that bad. Like she was digging through their website early on.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she would have pretty much grabbed just about anything.
My brain just absolutely flushed what it is that you're looking for. Oh my god.
She was trying to find more information about this guy, whether it's a name or an address or something.
Oh yes. It would have had like personnel files and stuff like that, which would have included an address for a residency for Kanja.
Okay. Yeah. Well, why not dig into that file then? It's probably encrypted in her computer somewhere.
I mean, it would just simply it's not going to have too much other than like the false records of like date of birth and some made up date of birth from like 30 years ago, 38 years ago.
But if it has an address, that's all I'm looking for, really.
But yeah, it has a residential address on the outskirts of Briggenfowl.
Okay.
Like right at the edge where like the street is to go into San Alipias.
Mm-hmm. Is it an apartment? Does it look like?
No, it's a home in a like gated neighborhood.
Okay. Google Earth it, or what's it? Yeah. Google, try to get an image of what it looks like.
It looks like a very nice house. There's a very high privacy fence. It's from a few years ago, so like the privacy fence has been there. There's a vehicle. It's very very dark and shiny. There's no pictures of anybody like around the house. Things seem well kept, and like it looks like somebody very wealthy owns it. So yes.
Yep, and she's like not even trying to explain what she's doing. She's kind of figuring you guys can guess what she's doing based on, it's pretty obvious when you look up something, find an address, and then look at the address.
We could go there. Or, like, drive by.
That's a good start. I think we may have to get in.
I could take some baked goods. I do like to welcome people to the neighborhood. It's important to know your neighbors, and, I am sort of part of the IT committee around here. I wonder if anybody's greeted him yet. We'll have to reach out and see. And if nobody has, I can volunteer.
There's absolutely no way that I could ever get inside. Because I'm not at all small.
That's a good point.
Unless they have some kind of wording or something going on.
Why not both, right? One at the front door, one at the back? Or window or whatever. Drain pipe, whatever.
You wouldn't believe the amount of entrances if you can find your way through.
I don't think I want to know because I like to think of my house as impermeable, which I know isn't true. But I'd like to cling to that for as long as I can.
I'll surprise you someday in your bathroom. It'll be great.
Thank you. I look forward to that.
What? Bathrooms tend to be a favorite place for spiders to hang out, isn't it?
It is. Just stay out of biting range.
Well, I mean, I like you, so I don't see why I would bite you. Because if I did, it would hurt you a little bit.
That is incredibly sweet and not at all what I meant. I meant to stay out of my biting range, but...
She just clenches her teeth and she's like, I may or may not be venomous.
Percy is like, I'm touched. Like, I did not expect that, and I did not mean it that way, but thank you.
No, because she actually is, like, in her spider form, she's a venomous spider. So.
Beautiful. Fantastic. It's
this really nice girl can poison you if she's in spider form. Mutually assured destruction.
All the best friendships start.
Well, she doesn't technically do a whole lot of damage, but like you'll be in a lot of pain for a long time from the spider bite.
That is fair.
But anyway, yeah. So she just shrugs and she's like, "Okay, so is that our plan?" As she kind of looks to both the people there.
Let's stake it out.
Sounds fine to me.
That's a good start.
At night?
Tonight?
Well, we could drive past it. I'll tell my mom we're going to go get some ice cream.
We can go get ice cream and check it out tonight, but I think we should stake it out during the day when he's not home, presumably, because he's at the Ronald Reagan Children's Wellness Center doing his work.
I mean, I totally don't have to be at school during the day. And they really don't notice if I don't show up.
We might be able to finagle something. We could go on a weekend.
Weekend is a good idea.
Well, just as long as we can get this done before Joey is going to be taken in, because we don't have a lot of time.
How long?
Couple of days.
Well, let's go see what we can do. We'll do it now. We'll look and we'll make a plan from there.
Sounds good to me. Sounds good to you? She looks at Patrick.
I'll have to make sure I don't look like myself, or because I'm sure he'll recognize me.
That is true. Give me a second. Maybe I can find you like a hoodie or something that you can wear for now. It's something like that to start. And she's going to kind of get up and she's going to walk out of her room and headed to her brother's room, actually, to steal some of his clothes. See if he has a hat or something. Look for anything that will work.
I mean, there's stuff. He's a basketball player. There's assorted things. As you're walking like out of the door, or as you come back in, I guess, with the hoodie, like Bella, who's been suspiciously quiet this whole time, starts like pulling at the piece of paper in your pocket, trying to just like dislodge the damn thing.
Hey! And she's like, "What are you doing?" He just tried to kind of gently push her away. She doesn't want to hurt the poor chimera, but but she doesn't understand dingling as a language, so
but her father does. Anyway, sorry.
So she's kind of waiting she's hoping that you might translate, since, obviously she's walking into the room arguing with your friend.
Well, when is she trying to take this out? Just as she left, or
as she comes back in, she's like trying to what's this? What's this? What's this?
That's what she's saying. It's like
something like, yeah, to the like, what's this? Why are you keeping secrets? What are you hiding, huh?
that's what Patrick just translates. She wants to know why you're keeping secrets.
That's not a secret. It was some stupid ad for the circus. I'm not interested in the circus. Why would I care? I mean, they don't need to keep trapped animals. Why would I help that?
Patrick's sort of looking for a moment at UD with it, there's a very serious look. What circus?
She just kind of pulls out the paper that's all wrinkled up by now, I'm sure, and looks at it. What is it called?
It's called the Butterfly Circus, because fuck if I can come up with a name off the top of my head for a circus.
I see what you did there.
Yes. And it features the Flying Masons.
What? Oh, wait. I don't know that. Never mind. Retcon. Metagame.
Yeah, well, she'll kind of... What she's going to do is, kind of throw the hoodie to him, so at least he can, hide his face and stuff.
Yep.
It's probably too big, but, at least it's male clothing.
Yep. And he's going around with it, trying to put it on as fast as he can, but, it's a bit bulky, so.
Mm-hmm. And if she comes down to it, she'll get over there and try to roll up the sleeves for him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she's like, Butterfly Circus, it has the Flying Masons, whoever they are.
Marcia looks at Patrick for a second, and then she says, well, he's a Mason, and I am also a Mason.
And I also am not. Or I'm the best Mason of all, who knows?
You could be. Certainly more useful than I've been this entire time. And he's missing. Might he be missing from these amazing Flying Masons? That could be worth looking into.
Who? As in Patrick?
As you guys are discussing this, Bella pulls the hood over Patrick's face.
Mm. And he's like, while this is happening, he's just like, hey, stop that. He's not paying any attention to what's going on. He's not hearing the conversation.
He's invisible, sort of logic.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Hey, D. Well, actually, I think he's mentioned several times that he came from the circus to people.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's mentioned people. Oh, there's Christy.
Oh, there's Christy.
Okay.
Sorry, my mic stopped working again.
No worries. I know it's been a while, but I think Patrick mentioned at least once something about being associated with the circus, but I could be wrong.
Okay. Yeah, she's just kind of not really sure where to go with this, because it really just to D, a circus is kind of just silliness to her, it's just I don't care about the circus. And she's just she just shrugs. She's like, well, maybe it's relations to both of you. Next we're going to find the Sing Circus.
Maybe. I mean, I think it's worth at least making sure that they're not related to Patrick in case they come sniffing around. Because the last thing we need to be doing is ominously stalking some doctor that everybody loves and have people accuse me of harboring a kidnapped child.
Come on, Bella, I can't see. And she's pulling him around and stuff like that, and he's just sort of laughing his loads over his eyes, not paying any attention to what's going on.
To Bella, Marcia says, "You're doing amazing, sweetie." You don't have to come if you're not a circus fan. I don't particularly care for their peanuts anyway. But
I'll go.
you should check it out.
But I'll go. But first of all, I will not pay to get in.
I will pay to get us in.
Oh, no. Don't have to. I can easily get in without paying.
Yes, but if we pay, then we won't get kicked out or yelled at or otherwise arise suspicion. I know you can get in.
If you happen to have a spider in your pocket, they would never know that.
This is predicated on my putting a spider in my pocket, though. She laughs and she says,
I'm very good at making your pockets very neat and clean. I'm a very good organizer.
You're welcome to ride in my pocket anytime you need. That's a promise I never thought I would make, but here we are.
And I have 8 arms, so you can see why. Or 6 arms. Is it 6? I forget. Oh, we'll see.
It depends on how you consider the last 2. Are they legs or are they arms? Are they all arms or is it?
Well, I have a bunch of appendages. There you go.
A plethora of limbs, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah, and she's just, yeah. And she'll just be like, she just shrugs and she's like, if nothing else, if anyone's hand comes near your pocket, you'll know that they did because they're going to get chomped. Anyway, getting it isn't the thing, I don't think, for me. It's, I can't promise you that I will not try to free the animals.
That's fair. They deserve it anyway. Fuck Nikola Tesla. Yeah, fuck it. Let's fucking liberate the circus. Let's do it.
Well, let's do our drive-by first.
Yes.
That seems a bigger priority.
Okay, so are you doing this now?
Yeah, I mean, it's like 8:30 at night.
Yeah.
But we're just going to say, well, probably 9 by now. But she's just going to be like, yeah, we're running up for ice cream.
No one, because again, date night.
Right. Well, then maybe she'll just see if she could crash at Marcia, so she doesn't have to deal with the leftovers of date night at home.
Marvin Gaye just blasting from the house across the street. Let's get it on.
Actually, she's going to throw some clothes into a backpack, and she's going to throw it over and own her laptop as well. And she's just going to be like, by the way, I think you should know that I'm staying at your house tonight.
I have a plethora of guest rooms. You are welcome to stay.
Good.
Sleepover.
Yeah, and she's going to leave a note that she's staying at Marcia's house if they need to find her. Because you know how parents are. They want to know that you're okay.
Yeah, she'll and if asked, Marcia will just be like, oh, well, Todd and I were having a bit of a late night, so I asked if she could watch Patrick, and da-da-da-da, Is Todd still in town? Where's Todd?
Where is Todd ever? He's always on business.
That's true. He does love his business.
Well, someone has to pay for your book club.
That is true. Love my beautiful husband.
Was never here except on New Year's, and a murder happened. Coincidence? I think.
Yes.
Hey, we finally got to meet Dee's brother then too.
Oh, I didn't meet Dee's brother.
Yeah.
He was around briefly. He helped cover for her when she needed to get out.
All right, to the car, to ice cream.
Sure.
Yeah. And as you're walking out, Bella stops yanking on your hood so you don't, trip and fall. So Dr. Conka's house, Kanja, for Hook's house.
Just spell it out now.
Well, the cat's out of the bag.
We just want to put this cat back in the goddamn bag.
I just wish I could consistently pronounce this fucker's name, but I can't. So
is it one of those C's with the little loopy thing on the bottom?
No, it's the Turkish C. So.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Because with the little hooky thing at the bottom, it would be pronounced Concha, as far as I know.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
I have done a little bit of Duolingo on Turkish.
Oh. Well.
So yeah, so I picked up at least a little bit of pronunciation, even if I don't know that many words. But ekmek means bread.
I literally looked up the word hook in Turkish so that Amachan would be like, this fucker. But he never did because Carol can't pronounce Turkish words. So I can't even say Amachan right, apparently.
Neither can I.
Yeah.
Nobody can, I don't think. I think he's the only one who could say it right.
It's fine.
Is that not right? Because I've never actually heard him say it. I was just told his name by other people.
It's like it's like Ahmetjan or something like that. I'm still wrong. So
we're all wrong.
This is why everybody calls him a moosh.
I don't.
Others. Even his mom. But anyways,
I just envisioned like that it would be the equivalent of somebody calling me Rebecca. Which I don't mind, and I have had people do, but I'm always just like, all right.
Carl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, Hook's house has, as mentioned, a privacy fence, and in front of it there is a gate, and it is quite the thematic looking thing. It has a very stylized K on it because that's the name he's using, and the latch for the fucking gate is a hook. There's also 2 ships on either side, but they're sort of like silhouette styled. So what kind of ships? It's kind of, unless one of you is just like super into boat lore or boats in your like backstory.
Say that again.
So they're boats, big ships. But unless one of you happens to have like ship knowledge somewhere in your fucking sheets, I don't know, and you don't.
Spiders don't like water, thank you.
Is it like a yacht or like a sloop or like some kind of rowing boat?
No, it's a ship.
It's like, like colonial big masted.
A schooner or schooner, which I've never been sure which was the correct way to say it. I'm just kidding.
Time to roll your academics to find out.
Time for the storyteller to roll fucking academics.
No, I mean, but basically, as soon as she sees it, she's going to be like, oh, look how discreetly he's hiding.
Yeah, I'm frankly a little surprised that none of us noticed the house full of fucking boats.
Well, I personally drive this way all the time, don't you?
It doesn't have boats.
I do, actually.
There's not actual boats there. It's silhouette boats on the on the gate. So.
No, but I still see the stars all the time, and they're usually always.
But there's a hook on the gate. I mean, there's a hook
in front of a K. Like anybody's gonna be like, yes, obviously, the K stands for hook.
Perfect.
Marcia, as she's like they're driving past it, like they're not, she may slow down a little bit, but she's not gonna like obviously stop in front of the house. Mm-hmm. And as they're passing it and realizing that there's like silhouetted ships on this fucking gate and stuff, she just says, I need to
what?
I need to stop drinking so much. And then continues to drive to like a local late night. I mean, most of the places I know.
Was that the crocodile passing by? Swear I heard the ticking.
Absolutely.
Did it look like
I wonder if that's as her car passes by, it like makes a clicking noise or something.
The blinker goes off.
Yeah. Although those are not on a metered timer, which drives me insane. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you put a metronome on at the same time as your blinker will go off beat eventually because they're not actually metered, and it drives me fucking nuts. Anyway, Not important.
Okay.
Just a fun fact about the world. Sorry, guys.
No, okay, so what did it look like his lights were on, like someone was home?
It did not. There was like the outdoor porch, but there was no like light coming from any of the windows. If you want to discern anything more from that, you're gonna have to roll perception alertness.
Why not?
Yes.
Should we all, or is it just D?
Yeah, anybody who's looking at it, I guess.
I refuse. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll do it. I'll do one. Let's see
I'm
what.
doing it.
Let's everyone stare at the house.
Peer pressure.
Well, what
Hey.
else do you expect us to do? Like,
Two
in this game, it's what you do.
and
3.
there we go. D. Okay, well, we'll go from least to greatest. Patrick, there's
Mhm.
no light coming from the windows because it's covered.
Mhm.
Marcia, it's covered with blinds. D. They're those fucking blinds that like shut out all light.
He's a vampire.
I love the enthusiasm. I'm not going to say no because maybe.
But seriously, all of the light is blocked out.
Wait,
There's like not even
when-
a hint of light coming out of there.
Out of question. When she exclaims vampire, can I roll for
Sure.
remembrance? What
That's-
diff on this do you want,
I'm
Carol?
gonna give you a diff 8. I'm sorry. That's a
That's
weird
fine.
thing to know.
Yep. That's fine. Oh, well, what do you know?
Fuck me.
What?
I got
I-
2 successes.
Oh, I closed Discord.
Because she didn't want to give me the answer.
That sounds about right, Patrick. Like, you remember very, very visceral attacks on the Lost Boys and them just not coming out of it well.
Yep. And he, told you he's not like us or like Emma.
Point taken, Patrick.
Oh dear. Well, why not? Marcia says.
Maybe this means we can just stake him.
I mean, I think a stake through the heart will kill a lot of things, so it can't hurt.
Oh, can we go all Buffy and like, yeah, and like basically turn him to dust? We can dust him.
There are ways to do that to a person. I mean, you can't make them usually spontaneously combust into dust, but we can definitely make him become dust in one form or another. There's incinerators all over the city if you know where to look.
It's time for creativity, it seems.
Luckily, that's fairly in my repertoire.
Well, I mean, you can kind of get rid of anything. So,
And have.
she just blinks at you a lot. Like, there's just this hint of horror on her face at the ideas of the things you might have eaten.
She turns around and says to Dee, I had a job once, too. And then continues on to the ice cream place.
What's a job? I don't have a job. Crazy.
You're lucky if you don't have a job.
She doesn't. She literally doesn't. Like, her parents just spoil the crap out of her. She has resources, one, because her parents spoil her.
Well, now she's a intern in the story's past.
But she's not getting paid for that, other than access to the website.
Oh, we discussed this at length with Lily.
It's not a paid job, if
Yeah.
nothing else.
You're getting paid in experience.
It'll be great exposure.
Great.
Not what a coincidence. My rent is 800 exposure.
This conversation sounds very familiar.
She-
Yeah, Patrick's rubbing his head now. You know that memory is getting like really bad images and stuff like that, and
She's gonna kind of reach up and pat his shoulder and just be like,
he sort of starts the moment she like touches him.
hey,
Like
hey,
there's
hey.
like some like real like big wide like
Yeah, she's just like, hey, it's just me. I'm not Hook. I am a spider god. Very different things.
Marcia kind of to the mirror, but then she just doesn't press. She's like, you know what? I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
So as you pull up to the ice cream shop nearest Hook's house, the guy working behind the counter he's like a kind of genteel, little older, nice like soft beard and spectacles, and just kind of leans over on the counter. What can I get for you?
Whatever the children are having. I'm sorry. Whatever the child and this young lady.
Climbing over her to try and grab the spectacles.
He just kind of like chuckles and sort of like, just give those back to me when you're done, kid. I kind of need them to see.
Patrick's like, look at them and stuff like that, and he puts them on for a moment, squints through them because it's glasses and stuff, and he's just like, and finally like and for the first time, rather than like keeping them, he does actually give them back.
Marcia reaches into her purse and pulls out a pair of those readers that you can get for like $5 at Walmart, and she just hands them over and is like, go wild.
The older man kind of just like reaches for his glasses and sort of cleans them off. And, your son is absolutely lovely. Look at the eyes on him.
He gets those from his father.
Oh.
Just a darling man. Very ocularly. She said.
Well, I'm just saying, you don't see eyes like that very
often. Can I have chocolate, please? As she interrupts the trying to get him off the eyes.
And he looks over at you and it's like, of course, chocolate. And
with marshmallows on it.
Coming right up.
And peanuts.
Anything else? Cherry on top?
The kitchen sink.
Sorry, we don't have the kitchen sink, but we do have a flavor called the kitchen sink, which includes some berries thrown in with the whole thing.
Done.
And so he whips up an ice cream cone that has chocolate and marshmallows, peanuts, and strawberries and hands it to you.
Oh, the strawberries she can't have. She just looks at it, and she just looks at it, and then she looks up at him very sad, and then looks at the other two. You guys want this?
I'll take it, Patrick says without even thinking it goes
Can I get... She looks at Dee and she says slowly, the same order without the strawberries?
She looks at her hopefully.
The same order without the strawberries.
And he makes another kitchen sink, sands the strawberries, and hands it over.
She gives it to Dee.
Yeah, Dee just looks at them. You guys have no idea how lucky I was. I remembered that. She would never forget it, but me, I would forget. And she just kind of mouths to her, "Thank you."
Yeah. She's like, and then Marcia thinks for a second. And she says, "What the hell? Just give me the same."
Strawberries or no strawberries?
Oh, let's go strawberries. Why not?
And so ice cream later, and he's like smiling at you guys from behind the counter. You're the only ones in the ice cream shop, and so
he's just creeping me out at all. Am I like getting any weird vibes, or is he just friendly?
Roll me perception cunning.
Yeah, because I was wondering that too. I'm like, what? I'm totally doing this
because it sounds like he's probably Smee.
What? It was so subtle.
You guys are looking at every corner for Smee, though. That's what's cracking me up here. We're just looking so hard for Smee. Okay.
I don't think so.
I got like 4.
Okay. So Marcia is gonna be like, Marcia is gonna say to while Patrick is enjoying his ice cream cone and she and Dee are sitting there, she's gonna say, thank God I never had to work retail because I don't know if I could be that friendly. It kind of creeps me out.
No, I like him. He's nice.
I don't trust nice people. I don't know, there's something spooky about it. Ugh. And that's all I got, because I don't think I got any successes on that.
As you kind of leave the counter, you like as you inch further away, you start to feel like yourself relaxing. Like you didn't even realize how much you had tensed up in his presence, and how like the colors seemed to like gently fade, not to black and white or anything too noticeable, but definitely something more muted, something perhaps from before you awoke the first time around. But yeah, like
Who was feeling this?
you,
Okay.
as you're walking away, you kind of feel like, oh, I didn't even realize I couldn't breathe that easily.
Okay, she's kind of pauses in her step when she starts really noticing the difference, and then slowly turns around to look at him again.
He just gives a friendly smile.
Is it kind of like I'm feeling, kind of like there's just a hint of something about him, but it's kind of bogged down by banality, kind of thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she's like, I totally don't think he's anything at all. Or wasn't, at least.
Huh. You don't say. Marcia looks back at him. She smiles. She does the whole, like, the mom, like, oh, my kids are having such a good time. Kind of a look. I know you know that look, right, Carol? That's a look that you share with straight retail workers a lot. I say with my vast experience parenting.
I usually give the apologetic look of like, I'm sorry. I told them to stop.
Yeah. I do that, but for this.
Mimi!
She's mad at me. Lay back down. Just to, I don't know if there's anything. What is my?
Yeah. She'll just be like, I think maybe he's faded.
Oh, sorry, that wasn't the impression I was trying to give. No, there's something to him, but it is incredibly banal around him.
When we get close to him, everything leaches out.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the further away that we get.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's very subtle. So it's like you know how when you've had a cold for a really long time, that you kind of get used to not being able to breathe, and then one day your nose isn't stuffy anymore, and you're like, "What the? This is breathing? What the fuck was I doing this week?"
For a fair comparison for my character, would it be kind of like the way it was when we first met? The Red Cap Queen. When we first met her, and she was like half faded.
No.
No. Because you know what I mean, like she had been stuck in that. What's her name again?
Agnes.
Yeah.
Agnes, right? So when we first met her, she was like barely. You couldn't even really tell she was like supposed to be a red cap, except for faintly.
Well, she hadn't awoken yet, which is why everything was real faint. No, there's no like, there's no main like trying to burst through with this guy. It's just like he's got a friendly demeanor. There's something about him just good form.
Sorry, what can I do with winter? I keep forgetting.
There's a lot of things you can do.
Yeah.
Winter's actually pretty powerful.
Of it anywhere, so I don't know what it is.
I can. I'll post some of the abilities. What level do you have it at?
2.
Level 2. I'll post both the level 1 and level 2 abilities in the side chat for you. Give me a second.
It sounds like you need a book.
How long has this ice cream shop been here? Do I know?
Probably around 4 or 5 years.
So as she's kind of like finishing up her ice cream cone because she eats fast like a crazy monster a little bit, Marcia says, do me a favor and just stay at the table. And then she gets up and she wanders over and she puts on like this big plastic smile and she says, That was absolutely divine. Can I get some business cards? Because I have got to send my book club. They're going to go wild for it. It's not real calories if it's frozen, right?
He just smiles. Well, I don't have any business cards, but we do have these frequent visitor cards, loyalty cards. And he pulls one out and he hands it to you, and it's got like Frosties. And then, and he's like, "Oh, and you bought 3 cones."
Yeah. Oh, fantastic! It is absolutely wonderful. I didn't even know this place was here. I must have just missed it. I've lived here forever, and
oh, well, I mean, we just branched out recently, the past, a few years ago. I mean, we used to be out in, the first shop opened up in Maine.
Mm-hmm. Oh, are you the proprietor?
Oh, proprietor, just devoted employee. They moved me because I was willing to move and, see to the shop opening up.
Well, that's fantastic. So you're from Maine originally then? That's very exciting.
Oh, I'm from all over.
Oh, you don't say. I'm from a little of the same place myself. I've been around for a little while, but it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. And it's so nice to find a place that keeps reasonable hours.
Well. You never know who's going to stop in late at night.
That is true.
Vampires.
Did you say that out loud?
Yeah, actually.
He just sort of gives a look and like, "Oh, come on now. There's no such thing as vampires."
Marcia she winks at him and she says,
"I can't read lips."
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to whisper without, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to yell. And she says, "We were at the movies."
Oh.
Kids have active imaginations these days. Next thing you know, they could fly. And she
And he looks and he's like, yeah, you should probably watch out for that one. He looks like he's a troublemaker.
I'm sorry.
Well, he's pretty good at getting himself out of it.
Oh, I bet.
She says, and does the kind of like the little like bitchy hard edge smile, you know? Okay, so what is this?
That's all the things.
Yeah.
And she looks at Patrick like, maybe we should invest it in some like crosses and garlic and stuff.
Why?
They're good against vampires, according to all the movies I've ever seen.
I don't watch a lot of movies.
Discussion to save for home, kids. She kind of shuffles them toward the door now that
ooh, as they walk out the door. Ooh, holy water! We need holy water. Like she's being a little loud on purpose because she's just being annoying.
Yeah,
because nobody's going to believe that we're actually thinking vampires are real. So you know, she's just kind of like playing along with that whole disbelief because nobody's going to believe that crap.
Absolutely. Okay.
I wonder if coriander would be any good against vampires.
Well, there's also that thing that says they can't cross water, so maybe
your shallots are good in a pinch.
Oh, so what do we do? We have to dig like what? Put a mud puddle in front of our door? I'm
running. Or there's like a certain color of blue that they used to use in the Old South.
That doesn't make sense, though, because if he's a pirate and you sailed on the water...
Oh, no, I'm just saying that these are all the old myths. I don't think that some of them are true.
You know, if we turn a sprinkler on and leave it on, it will eventually form a body of moving water across the lawn.
I don't know if that counts as having a current. I guess you could.
Everybody knows the proper way to defeat a vampire is to lower his property value.
Let's TP it. Let's TP his house. That'll lower property value, right? Because there are hooligans in the neighborhood.
You guys are hooligans. A lot of you.
What was the... Never mind. It's not important. It was just a Tumblr thing I saw about lowering property value.
The D&D thing.
Well, no, it was someone whose neighbor, like, they heard gunshots or something, and they went
yeah.
And their neighbor was like, "Oh, I just do this like once every couple months or so to keep the property values down. Just like shoots a shot into the ground. Anyway, but
well, maybe in the stories of Hook, maybe there's stuff about what actually works.
we could go to the library.
I mean, I think my sources are probably more accurate.
Than a book?
You mean a website that is run by people who dig into stories about us? I'm assuming we're in the car by now, or she wouldn't have said that. Like people, we are the story gatherers. That's what they do.
Sort of like librarians.
Yes, but these are more accurate stories because
Mercy is just being willfully obstinate now.
Yep. We do find her stories that are true or true-ish. These are more specifically connected to us.
So a changeling librarian.
Basically, but it's a website. It's like Changelingpedia.
Yeah.
Well, let's go read up on it. Let's learn about Hook.
The minute he says, let's go read up on it, she reaches over and puts her hand on his forehead to like check his temperature. Are you sure you're feeling okay?
Yeah, I mean,
and hopefully learning.
Well, I'm not going to read. She's a great storyteller.
Yes, I am a storytelling spider. God, person, thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying so hard to remember what Marcia knows and not what my nerd ass knows. She's like, I've been reading Neil Gaiman for years.
Yeah, and Nancy Boys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
What a goofy looking dog. Anyway.
She just finds it hilarious that she was a god in a past life. Like that's kind of amazing.
Mercy is still not true.
Put that on your resume.
I know, right?
I love it. I'm excited to see how they all intertwine. Yeah, let's go learn about Hook. Well, let's go have our sleepover, and then we'll learn about Hook, and then we'll go to the fucking.
Can't we do both?
Well, yes. You just have to start the sleepover first. I mean, I guess we could do the learn. I mean, they're kind of simultaneous, like they sort of happen at the same time. And then we'll go to the circus to check in on Patrick.
Why are you checking in on me about the circus?
Because I thought you might like the circus.
What circus?
I don't know. You know, the circus.
Well, there's more than one.
Well, I know that, but I've just heard the circus is coming to town. I'm not sure which.
You are. Yeah, the name.
Yeah, yeah.
She's lying.
No, I know.
Oh, okay.
I know.
I wasn't sure.
And for the record, Dee is like looking at Tinkerbell right now, trying to discern if she can figure out if it's okay or not to tell him, because she's trying to figure out what the hell Tink is thinking.
Yeah, she seemed not stoked about him hearing it earlier, so Marcia is not.
Yeah. Tink usually is scowling at any woman in the general proximity of Patrick, so it's hard to discern what the scowl means at the moment, because it's always...
She could be shaking her head vehemently. Like, that would be a certain sign.
She could be.
Is there a way that we can learn to speak Tink?
Unless you imagined her or are an imaginary creature yourself. No. Imaginary friend yourself. No.
Well, we are imaginary in some ways. We think about it.
I could make an imaginary friend if I go into the magical woods. And maybe that friend could translate for me when Tink goes out.
I mean, we can always go chimera hunting and like
communication.
I imagined this digital dictionary.
It says, "Don't panic."
Oh, I want it. I need that one because Hitchhiker's Guide. Oh my god.
Beautiful.
I love Hitchhiker's Guide. It's one of my favorite things.
It's got a perfect. It's also got a extra space to put your towel into the cover. So
beautiful.
Great.
Well, as long as we don't forget our towels, we should be fine. So.
Yeah.
But anyway, she's gonna normally she wouldn't like show this to other people because of what it is, but like she'll like do with passwords and whatever else, and she will actually like pull it up on the computer. But she is very specifically guarding to make sure nobody else pushes any buttons. She has her hand on the mouse at all times. We're only going to read stuff about Hook.
But who would press buttons? Who?
Yeah, she's just being pretty careful about it because she's like, you guys can't tell anybody that I let you read this.
Okay.
Because I would have just told you the stories anyway.
I will take it to my grave, along with many other secrets that I'm keeping.
I have no secrets at all. I am completely trustworthy and, just upfront about everything.
That's
I would never, ever, ever lie. Why would I do that?
That's what I appreciate about you, Dee.
She nods, just like, yeah, I know. Yeah, that look on her face, I know. Right. So yeah, she does, and she'll just kind of open up to she'll do the search for try Hook. Well, actually, she's going to try Conka first, or whatever that is, just to see if anything pops up under that.
Nothing.
Okay. She figured it was worth it, narrowing it out. So she will then hit, type in Captain Hook, see if it can find any stories that don't have Peter in them.
No, I mean, the best you can get as far as like that don't mention Peter Pan specifically are things where it's like where there's mentions of him fighting with a golden-eyed child. They don't know who the golden-eyed child is. Just one where it ended in a really way, and another where he shot him immediately. He shot a child immediately upon Chrysalis. Like, oh, no.
And yeah, as soon as I figured that, I'd just be like, that's not a good story. Let's look up anything else.
Hey, Rebecca, remember a certain story you bought as
Marcia?
As Marcia? Something about doing your research on golden eyes.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Well,
okay, wait. So it says he has fought a golden-eyed child, or that's the one that he shot immediately.
There's
two incidences with golden eyes. One ended in like he was there for the Chrysalis, and it was and shuffled him loose the mortal coil immediately.
Marcia glances over to her bookshelf because she's in the book club, so she has a pretty decent shelf full of books, and that book is there, and she says, "Yeah, he might have been right on that one." Anyway, past lives being what they are, let's focus on this one. Or see if there's anything that talks about how he killed or defeated Hook before.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's probably more stories about Peter Pan than there are even about Anansi. So, like, she'll just type in Captain Hook. So you want to make sure he's in the story. Mm-hmm. and not focus it in so much specifically without Peter,
Mm-hmm.
Also maybe just vampires.
We can totally do that too, but we wanted to try Captain Hook first.
Yeah.
So
the first thing you'll notice upon while there have been photos of other individuals before, all that exists of Captain Hook are drawings. There are no photos. There's stories of little things they were able to piece together from Aftermath because they haven't been able to get Peter Pan in for an interview to figure out.
If I pull this off, that could be my way into the society as a full member, because they've never been able to do that.
Yeah. The biggest story is, of course, the one that was recounted by one J.M. Barrie, Ishu Grump. And
that explains so much.
It tells about, the crocodile and Peter defeating Hook and being thrown to the mouth of the crocodile and, general
Tomfoolery?
Tomfoolery, yes. I mean, Peter's a scamp.
Yeah, I mean, she's not going to hide these stories from him. Like, if he's right there, like, reading it, she'll read these out loud to him, you know, like, because these are his stories. So
every time, okay, just as a preface, with every shift in a story, depending where it is, it's not instantaneous but gradual. Patrick changes every time, and it's not that he's like lost himself or anything like that. He starts turning into like the boy, or on the rare occasion a young girl on of that story. And with the J.M. Barrie story, it's not red hair, it's golden curls. He has still the same eyes, and he looks like he's about 8 now, still with the leaves. And his teeth just seem a little too small for his mouth.
As Dee is telling the stories, and like I imagine like scanning the screen and stuff, Marcia is just kind of watching Patrick.
What other stories are there, Carol?
Let's see. There would have been like the traditional Peter Pan. But actually, I'm going to step away from this for a moment and ask that, let's see, I need to look at a character sheet to see what I want Dee to roll.
oh, good. It's apparently me we're going to step away for.
Perception. No. Wits. Wits. Investigation. Let's go with that. Wits.
Investigation.
Let's go with wits. Time for you to be a clever girl.
Can I spend a willpower? Because I feel like this might be important.
It's a you don't know that you're doing it.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's investigation.
1.
That's enough. You know for a fact you have a version of the Peter Pan story that this database does not.
Something else. Fun. That's the one book that she found that she's been keeping for him this whole time, right?
You have Lainey's memoirs.
The version from Wendy.
Yes.
That's going to be fun. Yeah, she will actually kind of she's gonna keep her hand on the mouse, but because she doesn't trust him to not start going after buttons.
What?
It's not Marcia, because she's pretty sure Marcia is old enough to control herself. It's Peter. So yeah, she'll do that. And she kind of reaches, like, it's probably like in her computer desk. Well, she has that would be at her house. We're not at her house right now.
No.
Nope.
Okay, so she's gonna
yeah,
she's just gonna be like, she just kind of glances to him and then glances to her, and she's like, I have another story. It's not here.
Okay. Do you want to go get it?
Yes, but would you hold on to that? Would you sit here and watch the computer closely, please?
Yes. Yeah, she sits with these computer.
It's her laptop at this point, because she has she has the desktop and the laptop. I mean, she's a nerd. She has it all. So
yeah, she would just maybe casually close it if Dee was leaving, so that Peter didn't stick his fingers in it.
Yeah,
she's getting excited about that one.
Yeah, well, if you're actually closed out when she's walking out the door, she'll grab the little drive out of the thing, and just carry it with her so nobody else can get into the website without her.
That's fine.
But yeah, she's gonna plug her headset in because she's guessing that they might be home by now.
And like a true rebel, she didn't eject it first.
While he is getting this other story, I just want to try something, and I don't know if it's gonna work. Marcia is gonna look at Patrick from where she's like sitting in the living room or whatever and say, you know, my sister used to tell me stories about Peter Pan, but in her stories, he always had bright blue eyes and black hair. Just to see if he only changes with stories that are somehow recorded, or if it's just like any story about him, or if it's people imagining him, like if that has any power over it, like just to see if anything happens.
Really? What's he? Really? That's interesting. What? Tell me more. He says as he's looking at her. He's not changing, by the way. So if you start making things up, go for it.
Hey, I mean, maybe her sister did tell her stories like that. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, she said that he, you know, was like a shadow in the night. He and a shadow together, and they were boys of dark coloring, and you know, wore sort of Viking-like furs, and came from a faraway, dangerous, and exciting land, and come and whisk children away to.
Peter's not changing, or Patrick's not changing, but if you look at the shadow that's like against the wall, you notice that it's like kind of pantomime, like Viking horns, and like
Yeah.
It's up for made up shenanigans any day.
Well, I've never had blue eyes. I don't think, Patrick says as he thinks about it. I mean, I did have dark skin once, and I remember I was flying in the clouds. I had dark skin, I had black hair, and he starts talking about how he was flying over this thing. And it was this amazing city. It was like nothing but brownscape over there. There were mountains all topped with snow over the hills, and there was this great palace in it. But as he's talking, his skin starts to turn darker, sort of brown. His eyes are still those bright, vibrant green orbs, but his hair grows is short, darkened, but he has like almost what seems to be a turban. He's bare-chested, and he's got a green sort of like, you know, sort of sash on there. He's barefoot. He's dirty, and he's not even speaking English anymore, but he's still going on about the story. And you're getting like some pantomime as he's talking about, like, he seems to be like going like, and I was flying over, but you know, can't understand him. It's some other language.
I've got a smartphone, so Marcia tries to like get a recording.
It's Hindi.
Okay. Sweet. Interesting, she says. That is a very exciting story, and one of yours that I didn't know.
There's a lot of stories about me, I think. Not all the ones I know.
Yes, I'm wondering, do you remember the stories because they were true, or are they true because you remember them?
Yes, is the answer that you get from her as she bolts back in the door.
Perfect timing.
Well, because she doesn't live far, and she would literally have ran the whole way.
Yeah.
Right.
Run into the house. Run out of the house. Run. Making sure she locked the door behind her.
I don't know. But I don't know. I mean, I guess they're true. I mean, we could always read more stories about me and find out.
There's this one. Let me read this one.
The file actually, it starts with like several scanned pages that have been transcribed. The scanned pages have like very loopy, like cursive, and like the pages were obviously yellowed, and then like the very next page will have like the transcription of what was on the page, and it's from when she was about 16 years old. And she still speaks about Peter Pan like very lovingly. She still expects him to come back for her someday. She wears his kiss loyally. She never removes it. Her brothers have grown up. They've forgotten. But she can't. She refuses to allow herself to forget. And it's several years worth of diary entries along this sort of way of entries of John and Michael growing up. They've moved on. They got married. Michael went to fight in a war and passed away. John moved to the States. She eventually, as she gets older, he starts telling her that she should do the same, but she's still waiting for that boy to come back to her window.
Peter Pan, you suck.
It's a true story.
I know.
She's perfectly capable of moving on with her life if she chooses to. I would say it's 50-50.
That was mine was out of character because I would have been reading all this, not giving my opinion on it.
She eventually gets married to a very athletic young man. His wildness reminds her of Peter, is what she says. If she can't be in Neverland, she wants to be with somebody as wild as the beasts that were there. He reminds her of her wolf that was in Neverland. And there's a little bit of like waxing romantic about that, but that's still that in spite of how much I do love him, I would leave if he would ever appear at the window. I make sure to always keep it unlocked because he said he would come back.
I'm such a asshole.
So sad.
And
damn, girl.
She has a child. As the story continues on, a girl named Jane, who reminds her quite a bit of Jane's father. She has that same sort of wild streak. And the girl has a bit of a temper. And it's around that time that the father goes off to join the Navy. He's never seen again. When his ship report comes back that his ship capsized, and she's very despondent, being a mother of a child on her own, and the daughter, she cannot be controlled. She's been trying, and she actually kind of laments. She's like, when I was a child, I had Nana by my side to help me, to help me keep things in order, to help me grow up to be a much more sensible woman. And there's a lot less talk of Peter Pan as she starts to just notice the problems. And then there's a story like talking about how like she's always out with like these young men, and Wendy's very concerned that Jane's going to get herself knocked up with some illegitimate bastards.
Right.
Yes.
Which would have been a worry way back when.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And as the entries continue, my worst fears have been confirmed. She's too far along to secret her away to have something done. And I find that as I get older, I may end up having to take care of a second child. And she starts basically suggesting that she just would really settle for any solution to take care of her daughter's little problem. The next entry after that says that an old friend has gotten in contact. He believes that he has a solution to Jane's behavior. Once the child is born, the child will be sent to Michael. He and his wife have been...
You mean John?
John.
Michael's dead.
Michael's dead? I thought Michael was the one in America. Whatever. The one in America. The daughter will be sent to John to be raised, since he and his wife have been trying to have a child, but have been unsuccessful. and Jane will be dealt with in a way that will correct her behavior, make her who she is supposed to be, mentally and loyally, permanently.
Yeah, pretty much figured that. And yeah, so at that point, Dee's kind of going to kind of pause and be like, gee, I wonder who the first patient of the Ronald Reagan whatever medical center was.
Wendy sucks.
But is it really entirely her fault? There is someone who disappointed her. She could have reacted better, but
Yeah, plenty of people disappointed me, and I never destroyed my child's life. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I also don't have children.
I personally have 8 children. I just put them in my closet.
You look great for having birthday children. Marcia says and laughs. I'm saying that there are multiple parties to blame here.
Yes.
Nobody got off scot-free. There's a lot of bad decisions and people who probably needed to be in therapy.
What did she do to him? What happened to Jane?
I'm willing to bet that maybe she met a Dr. Kanka. But let's find out. As she begins to read whatever comes next.
This would have been still too long ago for it to be Kanja, whatever.
Okay, that's fine. But yeah, it's okay. It's okay if my character is wrong.
Yes. But yeah, as the story continues, Jane is much more well behaved. She's better than her old self. She's loyal. She obeys.
She's a robot.
I've been forced to keep her in the basement because in her current state, she does tend to make others nervous, but she is still my daughter.
That seems super healthy.
She's just going, like, he's pretty much thinking this is some banal shit.
Yep. I bet that's what it was.
There are also reports on hold on, my husband's distracting me, like yelling right outside my door at my kids. There's also reports of other green-eyed boys and other adventures, but they're, instead of documented with that whimsy and belief that she had when she was younger, they're either clinical or cold. Boy number 173, that sort of thing. Potentially Peter Pan, was unable to capture a picture of him. Potential Pan 175, also unable to get picture of child. But
trying to keep them still is rather difficult.
Well, childlings in general are scamps.
We do have a few pictures though from the book, so.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like Wendy lost her goddamn mind.
Dantain, probably.
Mm-hmm.
The last entry is I've been here in New Hampshire because this is where he tells me the boy will come. I don't know how he finds the child. I don't know how the child finds him. But the story must happen, and I think that this time I may finally find the boy whose kiss I wore so loyally long ago.
You know, Granny Weatherwax would have a lot to say about this. About people being foolish enough to wait for stories.
Instead of making their own?
Just, they buy into the stories have to happen a certain way, and they get trapped within the narrative of it. And
well, isn't the dreaming one big story? And wouldn't that I mean, that's kind of the whole point. They're one big story.
I
So they expect it to happen a certain way, I imagine.
Oh, I'm sure they do. I, personally, out of character, don't know enough about Changeling to say for sure.
Well, this is her talking in character. Like,
Yeah.
the dreaming is one big story. She's like, I'm pretty sure that most things that happen in there are just whatever it takes to make the story bigger and better and bolder.
Yeah, it just always seemed, maybe it's because I feel more human than most. It just always seemed boring to me at times, or foolish. Like, people get so caught up in playing their role that they don't see better, more interesting avenues. And I wasn't
Or maybe they choose to play that role because it's what they're born to do and what they want to do. Maybe that's fun for them.
Maybe they've never thought about what they want to do because they've been told so long that they have a particular role to fulfill.
It could go either way.
It could.
Maybe some of both, depending on the person.
Oh yeah, I think Wendy definitely fell into a little of both in both aspects. Like, she clearly got pulled into something when she was young and couldn't move out of it when she got older. I don't know.
She's going to stop and look at Patrick, though, because Patrick is really the one who's probably most affected by this, and he's not talking, which is weird for him. He always talks.
Mm-hmm. No, there's this very sort of dark, sort of serious sort of look on his face, like he's thinking about something. Wasn't Nana in Wendy's house?
What do you mean?
When Wendy's house burned down, Nana was there. And she was locked up.
I don't think my character knew that. So she just kind of like blink. Well, it sounds like she never gave up.
Tasha said that she took the biomesh. She got the biomesh out of Nana.
So are we thinking that Nana is new?
Maybe.
I guess we could ask her if she remembers. I still think we need to get in somehow. And
can I just say that I really think our first priority should be sorting out Joey over the circus?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Kind of
These
save
are
Joey.
all just a list of things that we need to do.
If this story, if Hook's expecting the story to continue, how long has this story been going?
She's going to try to make a guess as to like what the oldest story that we've heard was. Like, see, get an estimation of how long ago that would have been.
Okay, one moment. I have to actually Google a year.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, she's just trying to guesstimate based on like the oldest. You know what I mean?
Okay. It would have been in the 1600s.
Yeah, she just kind of lets out kind of a low whistle. You're like, whoo, you know, even though I can't whistle. And she'll just be like, well, definitely not sometime in the 1600s.
Well, then when is it?
Now? You mean when is it now?
No, I mean, when's the oldest story? Because if it's not the 1600s, when is the oldest story?
She grins and looks to Marcia, who she thinks gets this better.
Only one of us would know that, and that's probably you. I would imagine the one that you started to tell me a little while ago is a little older than that.
I don't know what year it was. Maybe if we see the stories, maybe I can remember more.
So
She's actually gonna leave the book this book open and like set it in her lap and be like, "Come here and look at this, Patrick."
Here's the thing.
Maybe seeing the handwriting, seeing her, whatever things are in here, maybe that'll help.
I don't want to look at that story again.
Okay, let me find a nice part of the story. Okay.
It's not a nice story. I don't want to read that one. I want to read more about me.
I just thought your memories might come back if you look at her handwriting. You have to accept the good and the bad parts of you. This is all you.
It's not all of me. It's just a part of me.
Right. You're right. But you need to accept that. It's okay. You have bad stuff. She has bad stuff. We all have bad stuff. Nobody's judging you here.
I hardly have room. I wonder if... I mean, I think it's worth knowing the stories to know how they go, only because if Hook is expecting the story, he's expecting it to go a certain way, and I don't think we should tell the story that way. Because
so you want to find a way that we can change the story.
Yes.
So break the narrative.
Yes.
And to think you're talking to a story god.
Well, and I wonder if that is why Patrick never remembers the stories, because if he did, he could subvert them.
Well, the thing is, with stories, there are so many versions of the same story out there that to be honest, they all probably have a little bit of truth to them. So
absolutely.
Stories change over time, and then the third version of the story might be as good as the first.
Mm-hmm. But there will be archetypal moments and specific styles of interaction that happen at certain points that are relatively similar across all of them to fit within the canon of that type of story. And that backwards and forwards.
Well, the one consistent thing is Hook trying to kill Peter Pan.
Are we sure that's the only one? What if there's more?
Oh, there totally could be more. But, I mean...
Then let's start at the beginning. Let's start at the very beginning when it all started and see where it went.
We might not have all the stories. We can only start as early as we have.
Then we'll start there.
I've been reading through many of these stories to you, and you know what? I can continue to research this, but I do need to get some sleep tonight. So how about I work on this some more, because there are tons of stories. You know that, right?
No, I don't. That's why I want to know.
Well, I've told you every story that we've come across so far. I've told you 8 stories tonight.
So but there's more of them.
We'll find them. We have to do some research.
Fine.
If you guys want to, you could check the library and see if there's any others that we haven't run across here.
The just a little FYI, the oldest version to fight what is known as Hook, the child's name is, or at least the name that they were calling him, is Omnis Pueri, which is Latin for all child.
Okay, yeah, because I can certainly see where when you based on what happened with Hook's name, I'm sure we would try to translate this too.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll just be like, you know what I think you are, Patrick? I think you're meant to be the ultimate child. That's what you do. That's your role.
We're gonna kill Peter Pan.
Strangle him slowly. Shh. You'll be a child forever, Peter. No.
No.
I know.
If he's childhood incarnate, then he needs to grow up. And I was like, but if he grows up, he'll die.
No, she's not obviously not trying to tell you you must grow up.
No.
She's just
that was me inside my head. I just was like, don't say that out loud.
Yeah, she's just like, I think that is your role in this. But in that case, then Hook's role is to try to force banality on you.
He sort of frowns at that one. And it's like, I don't know. We've just fought all the for
Because you
a
were
long
fighting
time.
to save you were fighting to save your soul. And you don't understand that. But that you instinctively you knew that this was not something that should happen. And she'll then explain like that this Latin, this oldest story that I found, and she'll say the words because I can't remember them right now, and she'll be like, it translates to all child.
That means
Carol, let me know if any point you want me to roll remembrance on anything. But
You can roll remembrance.
mm-hmm.
We're gonna give this a difficulty 6 just because I'm feeling like being flowery, and I want to give you a chance for me to be flowery about it.
Okay.
I will say we've been playing for a while now, and I'm probably gonna have to dip in a minute.
It's
All
okay.
right,
We're
I
gonna
think we're
wrap
close
up
to the
after
end.
this anyways. Yeah.
That's all good.
It's a diff 6.
Mm-hmm.
All right, give me a second, because my thing is. Please work this time. Okay, 3 successes.
Okay. You remember that there was a time when young people were adults. They were just small adults. And you wanted to play. And so you did. And so you were. And so you became. And it sort of spread, this idea of childhood. That youth is something to be cherished, something to experience through fun and frivolity. The expectations of adulthood should be delayed. Omnis Pueri was not so much a name as it was a purpose for all children to be young, to experience youth, and have adventure that wasn't beholden to adult expectations. And it was in this adventure, this first adventure, that you met Blackbeard's bosun, originally on a bright sunny day on a boat that you had stowed away on. And this is where I'll end the scene. So thank you, players, for playing, and I'll see you next time.